Hey everybody, part two, talking about the bottomless pit friends. So, I was having this conversation with my mom because I started playing the Funky Dineva video in the car with my mother. And I think my mom, I can't say for sure, but I think she was about to say something to the effect of like, because we just heard the little clip where it was like, which I'd heard about this before Funky, but specifically in front of my mother, it was like, yeah, I saw you helping other people when I was struggling. And my mother, I think, was about to say, and my mom is one of the most generous people I'll probably ever meet in this lifetime, okay? My mom is super giving, generous person to a fault. But she's also been used. She's also been taken advantage of and everything, right? And she, I think, was about to say, oh, like she doesn't owe you something because she helped this person or that person or whatever. And I like kind of stopped my mom. I was like, hey, no. Just so you know what she's saying, this is supposed to be her best friend and she was homeless. And this is a rich bitch. And you're going to watch your best friend be homeless. There's something wrong with you. That's not your best friend. I don't know. That is your fucking associate at best. That's not cool. That's crazy, And anyway, so yeah, I'm kind of passionate about this. And I told a story to my mom. So before I tell the story, there is a quote, and I feel like looking it up, but I'm not going to, so I'm going to do the best that I can with it. You are entitled to your story. People who don't like how they are portrayed in the retelling of your life story should have treated you better. I'm not going to lie on anybody, okay? And to this day, I still protect people who don't deserve it, if we really want to talk about it. But that's not the point. I'm going to tell this little snippet. So, someone who I called myself friends with years ago, they were facing homelessness as they portrayed it to me. Seemingly, they were facing homelessness, and they were panicking. And I was living with my mom, as I still am, and I had specifically went to my mother and said, hey, can so-and-so come here? Because I was worried about my fucking friend. Now, literally, I don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and yet that is how concerned I was about someone who I at one time loved. Okay? So no. But let me just say this, okay? Because this video is actually about the bottomless pit friends, because some people want to say, well, what about the people who, you just get sick of helping them because they're always getting themselves in trouble. I agree. I 100% agree with you. I'm not arguing with you at all about that. You do need to set boundaries with people like that. But here's what I will tell you, and this is what I was telling my mom because this topic really lit a fire in me, so that's why I'm doing a video, 2 videos on it. If you have a bottomless pit friend, then you have to figure out if you want to stay friends or not. Because if you really care about that person, then if you care about them, then it will hurt you watching them self-destruct or get destructed or whatever. You know what I mean? Many years ago, I had this friend who is no longer with us, who had a drug problem. And I had told her one day that I can't be friends with you, or not. I didn't say I can't be friends with you. I don't know how I put it, but basically that I couldn't deal with her because I felt like I was watching her kill herself. Now, the drugs were not the direct reason why she died. Something else, I think, was like, I think there was a health problem, which may or may not have been egged on, because I'm not exactly sure her exact cause of death. But the health problem may or may not have been egged on by the fact that she had been a drug addict. She died fairly young. Like, she was at best like in her early to mid 50s or something, you know. That's around the corner for me in about a decade or so, you know. So that's sad and scary, you know. But as it were, I told her that directly. I said, I can't. And we ended up crying on the phone together, and she realized I cared about her. You know, for me to even say that, I cared about her. Because, like, someone who doesn't care about you can watch you fucking self-destruct, and it's like, my problem is their lives. That's not my problem. But if you love somebody, you cannot watch that person self-destruct. You can't, you know? So what you do is either you try to rescue them or you fall all the way back. But you're not going to sit up there in their faces like, oh, girl, we chilling, we having fun, we just having a good old time. And I'm literally watching you fucking self-destruct. You know what I mean? Like that, you know. So I don't know how to explain that. But no, but about the bottomless pit, friend, is that you kind of have to understand that once you get to a point, providing that you've been helping that friend all that time, and then you finally say enough, like you take your checks and you go spend money on dumb shit and stuff, and then I'm here I am putting on my cape to rescue you and everything. Well, in a situation like that, when you can comfortably sit back and watch that person self-destruct, or even if you just stop dealing with that person because you don't want to see them self-destruct, that's the honest thing, is to stop dealing with them, right? But the dishonest thing is to continue to deal with them, but you're watching them self-destruct, unless the point is like, okay, she's not going to learn anything unless she hits rock bottom, which is another topic. But if it's not that, if it's just literally, I'm tired of helping this girl, you know, she just takes my money and blows it and, you know, whatever, but you're comfortable watching them suffer, then you're not the friend to them that you think you are. And sidebar, that's not a bad thing. I just want you to know that's not a bad thing. It's not, it's not a reflection of you having bad character. You are supposed to protect yourself. You're not supposed to just let people endlessly take advantage of you, okay? So that's not a bad thing for you at all, okay? But what it is that that person is not the friend that they once were. You're not their friend like you once were, and perhaps they're not your friend. Like, you know, you have to understand your relationship has changed. So the idea of calling that person your bestie, and I'm not saying that's what was going on with B. Simone's friend, but let's just pretend that is. The idea of saying, oh, she's my bestie and I can just sit back and watch her suffer is wild. That's all I'm saying. I hope all this makes sense. I say that a lot in my videos because I get lost in translation so much that I do hope you guys understand where I'm coming from, you know. I'm someone with a really big heart, but I'm in a phase in my life where I have been screwed over so much that I've had to learn to protect myself, you know. But the idea of calling someone my bestie and being comfortable with watching them suffer when I'm in a position to help is wild. You wouldn't be my bestie anymore. At the very, like, either you're my friend or you're not. And if you can't count on your friends, then who in the fuck can you count on? That's wild, you know? So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Bye.